Bought this 14-foot Jon Boat on Craigslist for a really good price, and it's an oldie, a little beat up. It's some dry rot on the transom, and it's faded and pretty nasty looking. But I'm going to clean it up and see if we can bring some new life to it, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Okay, step one is going to be power wash. Blast this off as good as possible. First power washing was a success. Definitely more to do, but it was getting a lot of that grime off all around it. Let's see. It's definitely cleaner. Hull looks pretty good. Keep going. Using a heat gun to take off the vinyl lettering. Once you get it hot enough, you can really start to peel it off pretty easily. That's a lot easier than without the heat. The old registration stickers are a little tricky too, but the razor seems to work better on those. So this opening in the middle of the boat was sealed up at some point by a previous owner. He told me that it was a live well system that fed from underneath the boat. I don't really fully understand it, but he wasn't using it, or it was leaking, so he tried to seal it up with some construction adhesive, and it's kind of old and brittle and probably not holding up as well as it did. So I'm scraping off any of the loose parts, and I'm just gonna flex seal over the top of it, and hopefully it holds. I think it should, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, we got the boat pretty well cleaned up. Now we're gonna leak test, put it up on some horses, and we'll see how she holds up. Just trying to get enough water in to get up over all the rivets that would be underwater eventually. So up to here and in the back, they look pretty good there. But so far it is bone dry underneath, which is great. But we'll see what happens when it fills up. So far, the only leak I've noticed is at the drain plug, which I figured probably would leak because that plug is very old. And I just messed with it and it comes out faster, but that is a easy replace. It doesn't really seat anymore. So that is good news. Quite a bit of water in there now. Almost to the top rib, and there is nothing coming out. Very okay. All the rivets are underwater, and the bottom is totally dry, which is great, except for the plug area. Now, that is good news, but we need to test that live well compartment. So that's how they sealed it up. Let's, next up is to fill that with water and see if anything comes out. Looks like we have a leak. Yep. Right there. So the old construction adhesive trick did not work. So we have to do something there for sure. But everything else looks good. We figured we'd be fixing that anyway, so all in all, I'd call that a success. More and more about this plug situation, and it had all this old construction adhesive wrapped around it. So I decided to clean all that out as best as possible in order to get good contact with the metal with some new marine epoxy, and then I'm gonna spray rubber over the top. Should be good to go. Okay, so we got it pretty well cleared out. This is the JB Weld water weld epoxy we're going to use to fill the void all the way around. Pack that in as good as possible. Should be good. All right, got it pretty well packed in there. I am pretty happy with that. All right, here we are. Flex seal over the JB water weld. See how it goes. Give it a ride.
Give it a ride and give it a try.
Sponsored by Miller Lite. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Seems to be very nice. Let it build up a little bit. Other angle. Looks good to me.
Looks good.
So we decided to cover the rivets more as a preventative. We figured why not, right? We got it up, we might as well do it.
Give it a try.
It's
Not hurt anybody.
Yep.
Looks good. Are you gonna do all the rivets on the side too?
All the rivets.
You gonna do all the rivets on the side?
Okay. Flex seal is done. Looks good. It is time for primer. And this is what we're going to use. Rust-oleum aluminum primer. Just finishing up the first coat of primer. Looks really good. So 2 coats of primer, and then I'll do 2 coats of paint, and it'll be done. And then the inside, of course, which will not be fun. Okay, so we're got the boat turned over again, and we're gonna work on doing the flex on the inside. So I got the liquid flex seal. I'm just gonna pour it in, let it fill this whole cavity, trying to level the boat as best as possible. I think it looks pretty good for now, and we're gonna go with it. The liquid Flex Seal, just gonna pour it right in, let it find its own level. Might have to do some squeegeeing around. That's about it. Just let it expand and fill up that whole thing. So I've had to spread it around with the brush a little bit, but so far it's covering just about exactly how I thought it would. I think it's going to work out really nice. Everything I wanted to cover is covered, and all the seams are good. Looks good. So to repair some of the dry rot areas and the transom here, I'm going to try to fill it with this PL Premium construction adhesive. Should dry pretty solid, and without taking off the whole transom, I think it'll be a good enough fix moving forward. So this is first coat of paint on the inside over the primer. Here's the paint we're using. Rust-oleum Professional High Performance Protective Enamel. Here she is. We're ready for maiden voyage.
Starting the day off fresh.
Hey, maiden voyage.
Did you get a bite?
We're dry.
The
boat-
leaks.
The boat floats.
Boat load.
Yeah, your mama.
Trolling motor works barely.
It's out of the camera, Dad.
We're a little
Hi,
bit
everybody.
heavy for the motor, I think, but we're moving. So far, success. She's back out of the water. No leaks. All good.
Success.
Successful trip. No fish though. Next time.